Time starts now. Hello, I'm host Eric. I'm here with an assortment of characters, including host Zachary and famous person Jeff, Jayson Neff, not Jeff Nason, Jayson Neff, who is going to tell us an awkward story right now.
All right. Well, I was called to give a speech at my church that I used to go to, and it was supposed to be like a 5-minute long speech in front of a whole bunch of old people. It wasn't really that bad, but they told me like a week prior, but I hadn't really wrote anything until the day of. So Sunday morning, I got up a little earlier and wrote what I think would have lasted 5 minutes. Which was just I had a beginning, middle, end. I thought it would suffice for the 5 minutes that they told me to talk for. But then when I finally got up there, I went through that 5-minute speech in probably 30 seconds. So I was just up there for probably 30 more seconds, just saying nothing, while literally probably 100 people were just watching me up on this altar, just not saying anything into the microphone. So then after that super long pause, I didn't know what to say, so I just left. I just walked off the stage, and then I went into my mom's car, and I just hid for the rest of the day. That church is 3 hours long, and I was in the car for 2 hours after that, so it was pretty tough.
Did you feel horrible later about it, or what?
I actually at the time, I was sweating and I didn't know what to do, and nobody was really saying anything. So, but then afterwards, they were just totally fine with it. They're like, "Yeah, it's a good speech today," and I'm like, "No, it wasn't. I know it was not a good speech."
What's your type again, Jayson?
Huh?
What's your type?
ESTP.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was more introvert, and I was 16, so I don't know. I was a little more.
I will say that, just to extend on that, the whole speaking thing, I think that ENTPs and INTPs have it that they are able to, anyone with a high NE has it blessed when giving speeches at school and shit. Every time I've given a presentation in school, I have never read the shit that I'm supposed to. I had to do I had to do a 10-minute book report speech last semester. And I didn't read the book. I read the summary of the book on Wikipedia the day before the class was, or I mean the time before the class started. And I was able to improvise the whole fucking thing. We are blessed to have NE that high. We are blessed.
Yeah, I understand the feeling. I know what you were feeling well from a perspective of somebody who's a speech and debate coach. I've seen you in class, and I've helped a lot of you guys. And it's not just you, it's every type that's not, as Zach says, it doesn't have any high in the mix. I usually start with impromptu. And I say, look, some of you will speak for literally 10 seconds. And what I've also discovered is you would have done better, considerably better, had you gone up there with no notes at all.
Really?
The problem was you had a piece of paper with words written on it that you were expecting to take you through the thing. When you got to the end of it, you had no plan B, right? If you hadn't had a plan A, right? If you hadn't, I already folded up the paper. There's nothing else I can do. There's nothing else I can possibly say. The paper's closed. I've read every word on the paper. But what if you had no paper at all, right? If you had been set up there instead, if one person in your life had thought to tell you, listen, here's a couple of basic truths about public speaking. If you either do it, understand that the amount of text you write is not as long as you think it is, ever, unless you're long experienced at it. And then number two, understand that if you write anything, you're going to feel like you're married to it. And if you write nothing, you can get up there and bullshit for a couple of minutes. Anybody can. Even somebody who is not naturally an NE person will do better just with no notes and a couple of thoughts than they will with notes that they feel married to.
The best way to do it is to, or what I did with the book report. The book was Where the Red Friend Grows. So basically, I wrote down some key plot points on a piece of paper, and I went up there and I basically talked about the literary theme of death, and then I referenced those plot points. So I didn't say anything about the fucking book at all, but I got an A on the presentation because it seemed like it was. The impression I gave was that I read it because
you were using debater tricks. You didn't know whether they were debater tricks, but you were already using them. But anyway, Jayson, Neff, I wanted to express my condolences that happened to you, and to say that it's a function that it's a sign that society fails to understand this at all, right? That nobody even said a word to you about how you ought to do this thing. They gave you this task. Nobody told you what to do, right? Write a 5-minute speech and give it. Write a 5-minute speech and give it. As though if they had said to you, you know, come up with a metaphysics to explain truth without without reading anything. Go ahead. Everyone would say, you people are insane. They don't understand when you tell somebody give a 5-minute speech on something, that is a ridiculous command to give a child without a considerable amount of guidance as to how to do that. It's not just something you just fucking do. And you have to make the person understand they have choices and approaches. They could do it improvisational style. Like if I were coaching you on that, they give me 45 minutes with you, it would have been like, okay, you are blah 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 blah. I'd do a couple tests. I'd be like, okay, you're probably not that improvisational. Here's a couple of points. Write the thing out. Here's how much you're gonna need for 5 minutes. Here's some additional sort of like bullshit segue shit you can throw in there. Right around that, you'll be fine. And then maybe have you do it once or something if you got the writing done. That's a way to at least give you at least a little guidance. They just threw you up there to fucking die. It's awful. It's a horrible thing to do to a child, right?
They do that to every couple months. They just throw a kid up there for a couple weeks.
Here, you die. It's awful.
Yeah.
A little awkward thing. It's not long enough to make a new video on, but the day I quit football, so the only time that football players at our school would leave with their equipment was when there was a game that night, because they would leave with their equipment and then they would come back for the game later. That was later on in the game, right? Instead of going straight to practice. The day I quit football, I was the only one on my bus that had their equipment. I was the only football player on my bus, and I had all my equipment with me. And so I was getting off the bus, and everyone basically half cheered and told me good luck on the game tonight. And I was just like, it was kind of awkward. It was pretty awkward.
That's a little awkward. All right, well, good. Thank you guys for an excellent episode of Talking with Famous People, and for enduring my little moralist lecture on public speaking.